Tish Shelby will be remembered and celebrated. So with that, you know what? Let's have our congregational song, Woke Up This Morning, and then we're going to break because I got a special announcement after that. So let's stand and enjoy.
God is the only power in my life.
God is the only power in my life.
Nothing from without can touch the perfect life of God within me.
Nothing from without can touch the perfect life of God within me.
No past experience has power over me.
No past experience has power over me.
I am a perfect child of God.
I am a perfect child of God.
And nothing that anyone has ever done or said can interfere with my divine inheritance. The power of God is greater than any circumstance in my life.
The power of God is greater than any circumstance in my life.
The strength of God is mine to use.
The strength of God is mine to use.
Turning away from all feelings of inadequacy, I discovered that all that I need is within me right now. As I forgive the past, I find that I have nothing to atone for. And nothing to run away from. Casting out the old me, I discover my true self. I take dominion in my life. Old habits have no power over me. Conditions have no power over me. Personalities have no power over me. I take dominion. I am whole. I am free. I am complete. Now and forevermore, and so it is. Yes. And now we do it in Spanish. Dios es el único poder en mi vida. Nada de fuera puede tocar la vida perfecta de Dios adentro de mí. Ninguna experiencia pasada tienen poder sobre mí. Soy una niña perfecta de Dios. Y nada que quería he hecho o dicho puede intervenir con mi herencia divina. El poder de Dios es más fuerte que cualquier circunstancia en mi vida. La fuerza de Dios es mía para utilizar. Olvidando los sentimientos de insuficiencia, yo descubro que todo lo que necesito está dentro de mí en este momento. Cuando perdono el pasado, encuentro que no tengo nada para espiar o escapar. Olvidando mi antigua persona, yo descubro mi verdadera persona. Yo tomo dominio en mi vida. Los hábitos antiguos tienen poder sobre mí. Las condiciones no tienen poder sobre mí. Las personalidades no tienen poder sobre mí. Yo tomo dominio. Soy entera. Soy libre. Soy completa. Ahora y para siempre. Es así. Sí. Today is the Spanish ministry after service. I encourage you to learn to speak Spanish. Oakland has declared itself a sanctuary city. Yes. And we need to know how, if somebody walks up and says help, yes, we need to know what that means.
Yes, amen.
Thank you.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Reverend E. So, our guest speaker. Oh, Reverend E, you got my paper. That's why. I know, Elijah, but there's some stuff written down that I'm supposed to say about Reverend taking off the podium. Come on up, Elijah. Oh, no. Come on up, Reverend Elijah. I want you to come on up. I want the men to hold. So this is our speaker, Elijah Christopher. I'm going to tell you, thank you, Vanessa. Keep going. I'm going to tell you a little bit what's on this paper. Elijah Christopher has been a religious science practitioner since 2010 and is now on the verge of licensing as a Science of Mind minister. Yes, 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 yes. He was one of the first recipients of the Regeneration Scholarship. For most of last decade, Elijah served the launching pad community. Most notably, he was the founder and spiritual director of the launching pad in St. George, Utah for 3 years. He is a social activist who combines storytelling, public speaking, song, self-development, and group facilitation. In 2013, Elijah started working closely with Dr. Gene Houston, developing training materials for the Gene Houston Foundation, training of trainers, and online teaching program. Currently located in Santa Cruz, California, Elijah continues to teach and speak regularly, traveling the West Coast, facilitating workshops and retreats. So that's what the paper says that Reverend took. Now, I will tell you what's on my heart. What I see looking at me as I look at it is spirit. Spirit expressing itself in Reverend Christopher. Spirit expressing itself in each and every one of you. So we gather together to celebrate Reverend Christopher. We gather together to celebrate the love, the joy, the understanding, the peace that is demonstrated through him. For we know who he is and what he is. We know that God is at the work of expressing in him and through him. And for this and so much more, I am eternally grateful. So East Bay family, let us stand and stretch out our hands in the direction Reverend Christopher. We see you. We understand the power and the presence of spirit that you are expressing. We love you. We thank God for you. And so it is. The Reverend Elijah Christopher. Now you can have a seat. And Tyrone, Vanessa, let us have some music, please.
We are God's people.
make that change. People of the world today are fading. All of us have our ups and downs. You better think about it or you won't be around. What we need is a little bit of love, sent by one from heaven above. Take it from me, it's simple and plain. This ain't no game, you know what I'm saying? Hit it, y'all.
It's time to make that change. We are the people, we can do it. It's time to make that change. We are God's people, we can do it.
What is the world coming to? Hey. Seems like everyone is running from the truth. You gotta stand for what's right and step into the light.
But we got people, but we can do it. We try.
I know we can do it. Someone asked me, why do we have to go through it? It's just a test of our faith. We're living day by day. Don't know how, don't know when. Spirit's coming back again. Oh.
Time to make that change. We are God's people, we can do it. It's time to make that change. We are God's people, we can do it.
Spirit is moving mighty fast. Earthquakes are moving through the land.
It ain't nothing but a sign to make up our mind.
We got people, we can do it if we try.
I know we can do it. Someone asked me, why do we have to go through it? It's just a test of our faith. We're living day by day. Don't know how, don't know when. Spirit always lives within us.
Time to make that change. We are God's people, we can do it. It's time to make that change. We are God's people, we can do it.
It's time to make that change. People of the world today are fading. All of us have our ups and downs. You better think about it or you won't be around. Love with a little bit of love, sent by one from heaven above. There ain't no spot, but God is not. I'm not talking a bit, I'm talking a whole lot, y'all. Hey!
Time to make that change. We are God's people, we can do it.
Lord, yeah.
It's time to make that change. We are God's people, we can do it. It's time to make that change. We are God's people, we can do it. It's time to make that change. We are God's people, we can do it. It's time.
Featuring Kimness on the rap. And Arjuna, one of our newest members on soul.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
On a Sunday afternoon. Couldn't get away too soon.
I've got a love all can see. It's the kind that love brings peace to me. them all out. It's the kind of love that I can't do without.
I can't do without. Oh, love I can feel. The kind of love I know inside is real. The kind of love that heals all life. That's the kind of love I can't do without. No, I can't do without.
I've got a love of one mind that's in the rain or the constant sunshine. This love keeps me warm when it's cold. The type of love that will never grow old. Never grow. Oh, don't you know I've got a love? I've got a love, I've got a love. Don't you know I've got a love? I've got a love, I've got a love. I said, don't you know I've got a love? I've got a love, got a love. Don't you know I've got a love? I've got a love, I've got a love.
I got a love I can see, the kind of love that means the world to me, the kind of thing I just gotta shout about, the kind of love I sure can't do without. I can't do it. Boom, 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 boom.
Oh, I've got the kind of spirit. It's right here. It's right there. Everywhere. I've got a love all can see. Hey! It's the kind of love that brings peace to me. Hey! It's the kind of love that's free from doubt. It's the kind of love that I can't do without. No, I can't do without. I've got a love I can feel.
The East Bay Church Men's Chorus, under the direction of Tyrone Cozy, with Vanessa Wynn on vocals and piano, Rodney Street on lead guitar, Daryl Thompson on drums, and Bobby Eddings on bass. The men's chorus of East Bay Church of Religious Science. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. I give to you the Reverend Elijah Christopher.
Can we just give it up for the guys and the music and all of this so much? Yes. Thank you. So I always love to begin by inviting us to connect with a few breaths. So if you will, just exhale, and we're going to take 3 breaths together. So breathe in. and let go. Another breath in and letting go. One more together, breathe in. And so God morning again. And I say, thou art God, my friends. And God is love. And therefore thou art love. And so I am grateful to be in this field of love with you this morning. And so this topic, this story, this experience we're going to have together this morning, I'm calling Love Your Neighbor is Yourself. And so this is a reminder to each one of us as we navigate through the world in these very interesting times, as religious scientists, as people of awareness that know that there is only one of us here. That there is one field of love, that there is one infinite consciousness, that there is one force driving evolution, that is the thing that is breathing each one of us, beating our hearts, coursing through our veins, rising up through the earth to live through us. One and only one. And yet, I don't know if you've noticed, but if you look out into the world, it looks a little different. Things look a little strange. The world is looking incredibly fractured and ugly, and there are so many ways that we can see our separation. Is it not true? If you look out into the world, when I turn on the TV, when I walk around, it's so easy to see that there is a mind out there that believes that we are all separate. And I believe that it is our spiritual practice, that it is our deep truth that we must cultivate in order to rise to a new place where we can see above that separation, see into the separation, and begin to see that one who lives and breathes within each one of us, no matter how it is showing up, no matter how it is out picturing, no matter how it is speaking or acting, that it is that one underneath the person in front of me, or the face on the TV, or the injustice, or the crime, or the breakdown that I'm seeing happening in the world. Because I see it everywhere, and yet I stand in this truth continuously that I claim, know, and declare that there's only one of us here, that there is no separation, and yet there is the world of form that seems to be broken. I watched recently, how many of you have heard the name Greta Thunberg? A few of you, yeah. She is a 16-year-old, she's now 16 years old. She is a young girl from Sweden who has autism. And she, as a person with autism, she has an amazing ability to fixate and focus on certain things. And she learned about the climate crisis at a very young age, and it became something that she became overwhelmed by. And that all of her energy, her attention, her mind, her spirit, everything about her became focused on this thing and became incredibly depressed and fell into this space of darkness, and that there is nothing that I can do. And then suddenly she had this inspiration to begin the school strike for the planet, because she said, all the adults are telling me I need to go study for a future, and yet their actions are showing me that future may not be there. What is there for me to study for? And she started the school strike, which then became a global phenomenon. And children across the planet are stepping out of school and saying, until our leaders make some different decisions to start to shift the levels of injustices that are happening systemically across our society, especially that which holds the potential of even having a future at all, that we have to stop what we're doing now and move forward in a new way. And 2 weeks ago, she spoke at the UN Climate Summit in New York. And there's this 4.5-minute speech. I suggest you look it up later. But something that she said in that speech has stuck with me for the last 2 weeks, and I think about it almost every day. And they said to her, what do you want to say to the leaders of the world, to the leaders of the corporations, to those who are making these big systemic decisions? And she said something so incredibly profound, which was this. She said, if you knew the impact, the actual impact of the choices that you are making, and you continued to do them, then you would be evil. And she says, but I refuse to believe that. You must not be mature enough to understand what you are doing. 16-year-old girl speaking to the leaders of the world. And that thing has been ringing around in my mind for the last couple weeks, because it's so easy to look out there and see what's happening on a systemic level, on a governmental level, on an economic level, with the corporations and all of the things that are creating all of the trickle down that is the world we live in right now. If I look out and I see this as being intentional, there is nothing for me to see but separation. But if I see it as coming from a place of immaturity, of ignorance, of a lack of understanding, then suddenly there's a little bit of an opening for me that I can start to see a person behind the choices. That I can start to see someone who perhaps needs some understanding, or perhaps some more questions that I need to ask, or there's a conversation that we could have that might find a way that we can see that there are some values that we share, and perhaps that there's a way we can come to new answers. But first I have to not see an other. I have to find a way to look out and see that no matter what form is showing up in front of me, who I see is God. And that when I look out into the world and I see all of this breakdown and all of this destruction and all of this injustice, how can I look into it and find a way to see only God? To see that maybe underneath all the chaos there is a driving force called evolution. That maybe underneath all the breakdown, this chaos is creating room for creativity. Perhaps all that has no longer served us is finally crumbling so that we have room to build something new. Perhaps all of the structures are breaking down so that this history that needs to be examined and discovered and talked about and healed can move forward, because we are living in a society that has a history that does not deserve a future. And we have to be the ones who are the crux point where the story changes. Where we start to tell a new story about who we are, about what's happening on this planet, about what is truly rising up from the soul of humanity, and that everything that we are seeing is Spirit reflecting back at us that which we need to see in order to move forward, in order to be inspired enough to get up off of our seats and do something about it. Because comfort and complacency often doesn't lead us to change. And I have been playing with this idea for a long time that in religious science I've always been told everything is perfect. It's all good. It's all God. And I realized that it's not that it's all perfect in form. It's that the law is perfect. And therefore what we are seeing in the world is a perfect outpicturing of our collective consciousness and history. It's a perfect expression of what we share in our historic and collective and communal consciousness. And therefore we have some work to do. We have some stuff to clean up. And if my house is a mess, I can love all of the things that are in my house, and I can think that each one is great, but if the place is a mess, I still need to clean it up. And so this is the work that I believe is in front of us, is first and foremost getting to a place where we can even have the conversations. Because I've heard it said multiple times in news reports and things that I've been reading that the United States right now is never been this divided, perhaps since the Civil War. And that the separation, the seeming sense of separation, is getting wider and wider and wider and wider. And we must be a people who can stand and be the bridge. We must be the people who can look for God on both sides of the conversation and see above the circumstances to say, wait a minute, can we see if there's a shared perspective here? Because I believe that we all want to live. I believe that we all want to grow, that we all want love, that we all want to survive, that there is a driving source that is God itself that lives and breathes inside of each one of us. And if we can look for that, even in the most interesting of places, it's there. Only if you look for it. Because if we look for something else, guess what? That's what we're going to see. Right? And so, continuously I be in this question of how do I look for God continuously, regardless of what I see in front of me. And I find for myself that I have this practice of simply asking this question, how is this God? When I turn on the TV and I see the leader of this country saying things, and it's like, how is this God? I see what's happening in our environment and in our individual communities across the country, and I ask, how is this God? And sometimes I get no answer. But my practice is being in the question. My practice is finding that there's power in the mystery. My practice is realizing that if I am in the question and that my spiritual practice is to ask, how is this God? Where is God in this? Even in the silence, even in the lack of a realization, I am changing something inside of myself that is choosing to look at the situation differently. And then if I do that regularly, I start to condition my mind and my brain and myself to then look through those eyes and react less and respond more. And live from this place of questioning. And every time we see breakdown, it's looking into this chaos of where is it? It's like looking into this storm or into a crystal ball or something and trying to see it all. It's like, I know it's in there. And I'm just going to keep looking. I'm just going to keep looking. And the deeper I look, the further I go into the exploration, suddenly these inspirations start to come forward. This idea of, wait a minute, what if I led this thing? Or what if I had this conversation with this person? Or what if I reached out to so-and-so and asked about why they believe what they believe? And little tinglings of inspiration and possibility to see how I could navigate through this labyrinth that is life itself. Because I believe that we are in one of the most magnificent times in human history. That there is a great turning, if you will. That I believe that we are on the verge of something new. That a new humanity must be born. I believe that all of the stories that we have told about who we are up until now are falling apart. And it is time for us as people, as human beings, as God realizing, as evolution waking up, to start telling the new stories, the new myths about who we are, about what community means, about what it means to heal, about what it means to acknowledge what has happened and come together in ways that allow us to move forward in new ways of doing and being together. But it has to start with each of us as an individual, cultivating and creating a practice within ourselves so that it is God who is looking through our eyes, so that it is the universe, so that it is all of the powers that be coursing through all of creation, looking out through us, so that we become the place where people start to recognize that something different is possible. Because we walk in the world differently. They see something looking out through our eyes. They feel something in our presence. They see that you worded that thing differently than I've ever heard anyone say that before. What did you mean by that? Right? Because our philosophy tells us to be intentional with the power of our word, with the power of our thought, to be focused. That we are creators. And that we can go into the world and be those influencers of what I call the thoughtmosphere, what Ernest Holmes called the raced consciousness. That it is this collective space that all of our minds exist in, that is both being projected from us and influencing us. And that we have this overlap in mind, where we all are one. And we are individuals, pouring our thoughts, our beliefs, and our actions into that thing, and it cycles back around and creates the world around us and reflects back to us what we're looking for. So I want to do a little exercise together to be in this practice of contemplation of the reflection of the other and the self in each one of us. So if you will, I want to invite you to take a deep breath. And if it's comfortable, to close your eyes. And I want you to imagine, or think about, however this works best for you, that you're standing in front of a mirror and that you see your own reflection. And just behold this face that is reflecting back at you, a face that you have seen 1,000,000 times. And just recognize that this one that you are seeing, these eyes that are looking back at you, this beautiful face that is smiling in the mirror, that this one is God. That this one is the divine spirit, the driving force of evolution. This one is love itself. And so in whatever way works for you with your eyes closed, imagining this reflection, just take a deep breath and hear these words as you look into your own eyes. I behold you, beautiful one. I behold you, child of the earth and sun. Let my love wash over you. Let my love watch over you. And then take a deep breath in. And now, if you can, invite the face in the mirror to change, to be someone that you love deeply. Perhaps it's a parent or a child or a partner or a sibling. Someone that when you think of their face, when you call them to mind, you just smile and your heart swells. And so call that face forward and see them looking back at you through this mirror. See them as the face of God, the beloved, the one looking back at you, you looking at them, seeing this reflection. And breathe in deep and look into their eyes. I behold you, beautiful one. I behold you, child of the earth and sun. Let my love wash over you. Let my love watch over you. And breathe in again. And let go. And then allowing the face in the mirror to change again. And this time, the face that shows up is someone whose name you might not know, but a face that you can recognize. Perhaps they work at a grocery store, or they're a bus driver, or you've seen them in this place but you don't know their name. Someone sort of neutral in your world. Just call up a face. It could be any face. And look into that mirror, see their eyes, see them looking back at you. This is the face of God. This one who you don't know anything about. They are God. And so behold them, see their reflection. I behold you, beautiful one. I behold you, child of the earth and sun. Let my love wash over you. Let my love watch over you. Take another deep breath in. We're going to do this one more time. And taking another full, deep breath in. Allow the face in the mirror to change one more time. And this time, call forth the face of someone difficult to love. Perhaps they're a political figure. Perhaps they're someone who's harmed you in the past. But pull up a face that is difficult for you to say, I love this person. And see that face begin to form in the mirror. See them looking back at you, you looking at them. And tell yourself, this too is God. This is the one, the beloved, the universe, love itself. And look into their eyes. And if you feel so called, sing with me or just listen again. I behold you, beautiful one. I behold you, child of the earth and sun. Let my love wash over you. Let my love watch over you. Let's just sing that 2 more times together. I behold you, beautiful one. I behold you, child of the earth and sun. Let my love wash over you. Let my love watch over you. And this last time, open your eyes and let's look around the room at each other. Here we go. I behold you, beautiful one. I behold you, child of the earth and sun. Let my love wash over you. Let my love wash over you. And take another deep breath in. And with that, I say thank you.
The Reverend Christopher. Yes, thank you. What a powerful message. What a powerful message. This is the time where we consciously go to prayer, where we consciously recognize the power and the presence, where we consciously recognize the power and the presence of the Spirit expressing itself in so many ways. For truly God is in the midst of all things. God is who I am. God is who you are. For you are the power and the presence expressing itself in this thing called you. So I stand before you speaking my word. For I understand that my words are powerful and power-filled. For I am surrendering, I am letting go of any attachment. I am allowing consciously Spirit to speak through me as me. And I'm declaring it good and very good. I am declaring that love, peace, joy surrounds my life as it surrounds your life. For I know that there is only one of us here expressing itself in so many ways. So with this, I bless my practitioner sister, Tish Shelby, as she continues on this journey. For I understand that as I acknowledge the journey that each of us is taking, that is good. So Tish, job well done. Job well done. Job well done. Tish, job well done. So I bless my brother Bobby as he continues to understand the power and the presence of Spirit expressing itself in so many ways. That anyone that has anything to do with supplying my brother Bobby with what he needs is there. For I understand that Spirit has given us everything. That Spirit only waits for us to accept the goodness that has been bestowed on each of us. So I accept the goodness for my brother Bobby. For I know who he is and I know what he is. So I just accept. And I speak my word for my brother Mark, Wendy's son, if you don't know. For as he goes on his journey, I understand the goodness of God. I understand the love of God. I understand the joy of God. I understand my brother Mark, for I know who he is and what he is. And for each and every individual gathered here in celebration at the East Bay Church of Religious Science, either in the physical, the mental, I know who you are. I know the goodness and glory of God expressing itself as you. So I invite you to open your arms, to release, to let go, to let God, and declare that it is good. For as I love to say, it's done unto you as you believe. And I believe that the life you are, the life that I am living is good and very good. So what this, I'm just giving thanks. I'm giving thanks. I'm giving thanks for the hallelujah. I'm giving thanks for the life of Tish. I'm giving thanks for the life of Bobby. I'm giving thanks for the life of Mark. I'm giving thanks for your life. Yes, there is only one, and it is God. So with this, I allow the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart to be acceptable. As I release, I let go, and I let God. And I invite you all to join me. I invite you to join me in seeing the goodness. I invite you to join me in seeing love. I invite you to join me in seeing peace. I invite you to join me in anchoring this truth by saying hallelujah. 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 And so it is. Yes. Thank you, Georgia. I forgot about the treatment in the treatment box. They're blessed also. We all are blessed. For we are a blessing expressing itself in the individual form called us. So now it is time for our offertory. It is time for us to give as we have received. For I understand, and I've been told that we cannot outgive God. So let's give as we have received. For it is all good and very good. If you choose to, you could bring your tithes and offerings forward. We do have ushers that will serve you at your seat. So please, let us come forward. Let us give as we have received.
And I hold you in my heart.
For your live
are a
streamers,
part of me.
you could text your offerings and your gift
You are
to
the face of God.
855-979-7388.
You are the face of God.
As it was stated earlier,
I hold you
the
in
bookstore
my
will be receiving your tithes and your
You
offerings.
are a part.
Our kiosk is not working at this time.
You are the face of God.
For you are the face of God.
You are the face of God.
You are the face of God.
I hold you in my heart.
I hold you in my heart.
You are a part.
You are a part of me.
You are the face.
You are the face of God. So I bless these tithes and offering. I bless the giver as I have blessed the receiver. For I understand, I know beyond a shadow of the doubt that God is working its magic, its love, its peace, its joy through each and every one of us. And that this financial support, financial money is God. For truly, God is all that there is. I bless the giver, I bless the receiver, and so it is. Thank you, Vanessa, Ben, Stacy. We got a few young people joining us.
Good afternoon, East Bay. Yes. These are wonderful children we have with us today. We have Gio, Leo, Hannah, Isaiah, Robert, and Zuri. Yes. Yes, so today we have the opportunity to love ourselves so much, okay, and express how do we demonstrate love and how, to ourselves and our community. Okay, the song says, I love myself so much that I could love you so much, that you could love you so much, and you could start loving me. Okay, so today our children will express their feelings of love, how they demonstrate love to themselves and their community. But before we do so, we will do our affirmation, which is, together, we'll do, what is it? I
am loved, I am loving, and I am lovable.
Okay. All right, so let's start. What is love to you? Please just express how you demonstrate love to yourself or your community. Thank you.
I love you. I demonstrate love by being me.
Yes. Who want to go first? Darn it. Okay. Love to me is that we're all a piece of God.
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you, children, for sharing. because we are all a piece of God, and we must take every opportunity to spread love and give love. Yes. And while I'm acknowledging that, I would just like to acknowledge our Senior Minister Emeritus, Reverend Eloise Oliver. Thank you. Thank you. And I would also like to acknowledge our Sister Linda Johnson, who is here today giving love, because we are representations of love everywhere we look. And I would like to acknowledge all of you as representations of love for our community. Thank you.
Let us stretch our hands out in the direction of our young people, and please repeat after me. We love you. We love you. We love you. We love you. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Fabiana. Thank you. So let us stand. Reverend, I'm calling you Reverend Elijah Christopher, will be in the back. Give him a hug, give him a handshake, give him a kiss. Stacy, you want to usher him back? Yeah. And then, yeah. Yeah, you could go now. So let them by. And we have been fed today. I don't know about we, but I have been fed today. So I understand the goodness of the glory of Spirit expressing itself in so many ways. And I am willing. I just invite you to be willing to understand, to accept the goodness of God. For love is in the air. Love is all that there is. So as we go from this place, spreading the good news, spreading the goodness of the glory of God in everything we do and say, we go knowing that we are one with the good news. So I release these words, I let it go, and I know that it is done, and it is done well. So we go and we spread the consciousness of love, of joy, and so it is.